Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining today's Water Unscripted. I have with me excellent speakers in our water industry. So thank you all for being here. I'd also like to thank our attendees. I know today it's like vacation season, so it's a little bit difficult. But this year, the third edition of the Blue Cup Award is coinciding with the World Cup. So it feels like it's a World Cup of water. So that's good. It's fun, I mean, to be here, especially that now we have 4 finalists. And the good news, we have a representative from the 4 companies attending, and in addition to another water expert. So please join me. I'll start welcoming by the screen side. So first I have Vincent Caillot from Veolia. Thank you for joining us. Then I have Bob Holtz. He's industry veteran, and he was in the past my boss. We can talk about this later offline. Okay. And then we have Pere with us. He's joining us from Spain, from Curita. And Divesh from Aquatech. And last but not least, last year's winner, Alejandro from H2O Innovation. So
hello.
I will start with a question, especially to the finalists. So you guys made it, okay? So you are in the final. I mean, it was really tough competition. 16 of the world's biggest and most important water companies, technology suppliers in the world. So what do you think was the driver? How did you end up coming to the final?
In my case,
Go ahead. Yeah.
our case, I think the most important was the people. For us, unity is very, very important, and we were working together to communicate what we were doing, and it's part of the important part of the strategy being only one team. I think it was the most important thing here.
So basically, one team, and
Yes.
yeah, and I like it. Who else wants to go next?
I can go if you like.
Please go ahead, Perry.
Yeah, no, for us is something that especially yesterday on the news. No, I could see this the importance that the environment with the COP26, how environment is getting important for us as a society, no, and especially I think in our industry where water is essential. But I think this is going further. And one of the things which strikes me is okay, Curita, we are 74 years in the world since we were, and when I look to the mission of the company since we were born is study properties of water, master them, and here comes the point: create an environment in which humanity and nature are in harmony. And this last sentence of our mission at Curita, I think that nowadays in this last after COVID, I would say, is taking much more relevance. No, this not only customer centricity but as well society centricity, and on that I think we are leveraging these 74 years of experience, which are giving now as a good advantage.
That's great. Thank you, Perry. So maybe Vincent, you can go next.
Yeah, sure, with pleasure. I think we're in finals because we did a fantastic year 2022. So that's why we're in final. I mean, as Veolia, we've been around for quite some time, and we're still here, very much in finals, in leadership position, continuing to challenging ourselves, continuing to innovate in order to better serve our customers. And I think this year we managed to even more convince all our stakeholders of the importance of the subjects that we are addressing, and also on the way we are addressing them. We embarked many of our clients in a journey with us, a sustainable journey in ecological transformation, and we also embarking more and more our team of resources, which is very committed, very dedicated to our fantastic mission.
Yeah, and it's great you mentioned this, Vincent, especially this year of where you had to integrate 2 companies, and usually companies lose focus when they are in integration. So well done. I think it reflects in the polls that we're seeing as of now. Divesh?
Well, first of all, opportunity as you pointed out a few times, a first-time participant in this, so we appreciate that. And I think we're here because it's been a constant in the industry, in business, and very globally in the East and the West, and very close-knit team around the world that is very and do a good job and very well recognized.
Thank you, Devesh. And this reminds me, H2O Innovation last year. I mean, last year, H2O Innovation was a new entrant in our World Cup, our Water Cup award, and then they made it to the final and they won the award. And Aquatech really is a surprise of this year. You just joined for the first time, and you're really making great in terms of progress. If you look where we stand today, and it's interesting that up to the last 2 days, everybody was like 25% on average. Except today, we started seeing some changes. And as of now, I think it's still, let me just make a zoom. So Vera is taking the lead as of now, but it's not yet done. We still have 2 days. And I know H2O Innovation can always come back like they did last year, where they managed to defeat Hack at the last second. So I have a question. What makes a brand in our very competitive water industry, what makes it stand out?
Walid, can I take that one?
Yes, please go ahead, Bob.
I think a brand stands out when a company offers unique and compelling value props that solves real world problems, and that they communicate this internally and externally within their team, so that the representatives of that company are sending that message at every touch point. And then the company has to stand behind that solutions. Whatever they deliver to the market, they have to stand behind that solutions. And then the last step in having that brand stand out is having the customer become brand ambassadors, because they received the value that the individual companies gave. You know, it's not just marketing. You got to market it internally, externally. You got to stand behind your solutions in your marketplace, because every time you deliver a product, it doesn't always work, and sometimes you have to fix it. But the end, the continuum in that circle is having that customer become brand ambassadors for the companies that are there.
Any other comment?
With Bob, I think that was the perfect. If he had a mic, he could drop it.
Okay, I will.
Especially is brand is really I'd say about you, and that's something that we really.
Yeah. So please go ahead.
If I may, Walid, I think a brand is a very strong asset. Having a strong name, having a strong brand is key in our business. And in Veolia, we work hard to make sure the Veolia brands calls for actions and also for solution in terms of protecting the resource, in terms of fighting against climate change, but also in terms of treating all kind of pollution and ultimately improving the quality of life. And it also means that Veolia brands calls for leadership, and that's what we enjoy in municipal, in desalination, in lithium. It calls also for innovation and for challenge. It calls for expertise, and ultimately it calls for trust. And that links with what Bob was saying. It calls the trust of the brand is that you the creation of the ambassadors, that you are also in all your stakeholders, environment, employees who trust the purpose, the message, the journey of the company, and clients who will trust Veolia, who will trust as their preferred partner.
Definitely.
if I may continue, I fully agree to Vincent, and I think as well to Bob. I mean, and I'm a marketing guy, so a brand is a value above all. Our vision at Curita is at the end is not only a value for us, but ultimately after all the challenging times that we are seeing, especially in Europe, where energy prices are booming and let's say environment concerns are growing, we stand as well a brand like value to generate value as well for our customers, genuine value. No, as Bob was saying, it's not just this marketing approach. We generate value, like we are value, we generate value, and when you are genuinely creating value for your customers, where they perceive the brand. Ultimately, as said, where we are changing our approach on creating value to our customers, on saving energy, on saving water, on saving resources, no, and this making it leveraging your let's say chemical innovations, your latest technologies that allow exactly this. To get 10% of energy savings using a specific chemical that this is directly on the bottom line, no, reducing the boiler blowdown because you are using a specific technology that allows you to make that. This is at the end ultimately what I believe that customers perceive the value and then understand the branding. No?
So we talk a lot about the brands, and how can we justify that some of the leading companies could not make it? You know, like I can take examples of Xylem, you know, one of the biggest DuPont, Hack. You know, none of them made it to the final. And when I started this competition like 3 years ago, everybody said that the companies who have the most employees on LinkedIn will win, which is not the case. You know, we've seen it. So how can we justify like such companies cannot even reach the finals? I mean, there are 4 finalists, not just one. You know, so
Can I start?
yes, please.
The brand is the summary of the value of the company and the people of the company, but not only the employees, our partners, everything. And today, if you are out of the digital age, you are out of the business, then it is different to communicate together with your people, including all your partners, your friends, the people, because at the end of the day, remember, brand is the summary of everything. Then it is so different than the 80s that remember that we communicated through magazines and fax is different. For that reason, our arena today is the digital era.
Yeah.
And I think to add to that, the digital era, different people will get information through different acts, different points. So you have to be flexible in how you communicate. Not everybody is on LinkedIn 3 hours a day. Some people are on there. Oh, you are, Walid, but other folks might be on it 1 time, 2 times a week. So you have to be communicating your brand in multiple touch points. You know, digital is critical, but you need to be on other social media platforms, and you also still need to, you know, show up at a trade show from time to time so people can touch, sniff, and feel your product. And but you know, you got to be out there constantly.
Definitely.
I think back to your question, Walid, why us and not the others? At the end of the day, it's down to it's a walk up, so it's down to patience and embarkment. It's how we're lucky. I mean, the 4 of us on this forum, we're lucky enough to have passionate employees, passionate enough to vote for the company, and clients that we have managed to embark in our journey with them, and they show their trust and they show their support. So we succeeded in that, in patience and embarkment.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that.
Yes, go ahead.
I think maybe it's a bit of wishful thinking. but I think it's a perception barometer that as technology leaders, I think all of us are.
It's true. I will move with this comment from our team in Africa, Lisa, one of our colleagues, Decilytics colleagues. So she refers to the company's assets, which is people, and maybe Bob, you can start with this one. I mean, when you worked in the Middle East, I know you've managed people in China, you managed people in Middle East organizations, and also Africa and the US. So I recall when you were leading the region, it was such an inclusive atmosphere that we will fight for the company, So how can we have this cascade to employees, and how can we drive engagement, inclusiveness? So to the point that employees go and they tell customers, please vote for us. Because, like we always get these emails when we are in companies, we don't even read them. So these internal announcements, internal messaging. So how can we have people so passionate?
Well, I think, getting back to brand and how you link that to employee engagement is, one, a brand is telling stories, and management needs to be good storytellers about the values and the solutions and the unique value prop they offer. But then at the same time, management must trust their employees and empower their employees and frontline people to be storytellers and to continue telling that story of the good that company's doing. I remember sitting in a meeting with one of the Jeff Inmelt all employee meeting, or the small shows meetings he had, and he goes, GE loves to tell stories about how we're solving real world problems, and all of our people need to. So the people need to be empowered, and the guys on this panel, there are 2-3 of them are CEOs. You need to empower your people and allow them to be your brand storyteller. And when people feel that it's okay to tell that story, they'll go out and tell more and more people. And it's, sometimes it's that simple, just making the employee feel comfortable in being the brand storyteller.
It's a good point, Bob, because sometimes people are afraid of telling the story because maybe the company will perceive it negatively. So they get scared of posting, of talking, of advocating.
Mm-hmm. There's one CEO and there's 10,000 employees in all these companies. So the CEO can't be the only brand ambassador. They need everybody out there telling it.
Very good point.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. Okay. Alejandro, go ahead, please.
No, it is so common because we were working together with our group, and I remember Aitor and Bilal and different beautiful people that we have in our team. Every single post is the same, Walid, as you. Maybe you are writing a post and you don't know the what will be the result with the audience. For that reason, it's so important our support. For example, in desalination, it's so important to support desalination because sometimes we receive bad news about, stupid things like brine and blah, blah, blah. And we are not defending our own industry because in IDA, in Aladir, in IDA, we are superheroes presenting something. But in front of the real audience, because the real audience is not only us, is the common people outside of our market thinking that it is impossible to desalinate water with a good, with a fair price or fair cost. And I think it's very, very, very important to be together to communicate. It's so important. And I feel the same feeling every single post. Oh my God, what will be the result? And I think in that point, we have to work together.
It's a good point, Alejandro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sorry, Perry, you
had one of the things listening Bob, and I was truly following his his comment, no, I detected as well, talking to my mates when we meet at Curita and so on, in some convention or similar. Many times, especially on the millennials, I listen a sentence from them, which more or less is, I need to work in a company that share the same values that I have on my life. And I believe that it's in between both things. What Bob said is this: feel empowered by your company, to the trust on you, that you go out and you speak out and you make it. But as well this, to make the magic, and I think the four companies are doing that. Suddenly the objectives of the company are shared with the objective as you as individual in this world, no? And I believe that this is fueling a lot of people, at least in my company.
Yeah. Divesh, you had some comments.
Yeah, I know we're talking about technology and technology. It's been a constant in. I would say you or you don't, but without the people designing, running, operating the tech, nothing. So I think the question was, how can company, as its greatest asset, help the company grow? Well, in this realm of technology solutions, okay, and to the point of sharing the story, we're in the tools of social media, using group alone, the message, it has to permeate through employee in the company, and now their transparency is growing, and the world's smaller because the tools like we have today, this webinar. So it's very interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Divesh. And Vincent, you were adding something?
Yeah, Walid, because you talked about passionate employees, and I think it's absolutely essential that we recognize, in fairness and with humility, that our first asset is our employees. And it starts, and one of you mentioned that, it starts with sharing the value. It starts with understanding the purpose of the company and aligning it with the value of the individuals that form the company. We work a lot on that in Veolia, first in writing our purpose, and then in explaining, understanding, and sharing the purpose. But it's not enough. I mean, you need to walk the talk. You need the best you can to be exemplary in your activities, in your day-to-day business, but also in your behaviors, to demonstrate that you are in line between what you say in your purpose and what you do on a daily basis. And also, to come back to something that Bob said, it's essential that when these two steps are done, employees have a possibility to impact, to have an active role in the purpose and in the delivery on the purpose. And probably on top of that, you also need to show that you care about your employees. In France, we say that il y a l'amour, il y a l'épreuve d'amour. There is love and there's a proof of love. And so we're launching in Veolia a care program that will establish globally in the whole Veolia a minimum basis in terms of maternity leave, in terms of medical coverage, also to make sure that we care as much as we can for our employees, and it's essential.
It's a very good point, Vincent, because I see a lot of cases where engagement is just a tick in the box, and that's a big challenge when because people see what the leaders are doing. You have to walk the talk, and if you don't, you cannot fake it. People will see it. Employees will see it.
With the tick, if I may, with the tick in the box, you may recruit people, but to keep people, you need to embark them, and that's even more true with the millennials. I mean, you may convince them to come with nice words, but you will leave them. And our business is made of leadership position, is made of expertise. So if we lose people after 2-3 years, we're doomed. We need to grow expertise. We need to keep our guys to continue to grow the company.
Correct. Definitely.
In fact, when I joined Curita, just to continue with what Vincent was saying, it was funny, but the first thing that they explained to me is about the Japanese culture and so on. There's, in Japan, when people is dying of Curita, in the gravestone, it appears the name of the family, but as well the company name where you have been working to. So you can imagine how important it is for a company like Japanese company, but as well, I believe the four of us here, how important it is to retain and to make that the people at the end, the final asset, which is supporting our customers directly, are the best ones, better prepared and otherwise, let's say, engaged with the passion that I think Vincent was mentioning before to make the job properly. That I think is the challenge, and I think all of us in our companies we are busy with that to keep this love. Vincent was saying as well, always burning. So that's it.
Divesh, we have you back now.
Sorry about that. I was having connectivity issues.
Yeah, no, much better. Yeah, we can hear you much better now. Yeah, so it, like last year when we started in 2020, it was very small competitions and it became much bigger. And this year we're about to cross the 300,000 impressions only on my side. This is without the forwards. So these are only what I can measure. And votes wise, we'll cross in the finals the 2,000 votes. Last year we were just 1,900. But engagement is really key, as you mentioned. And like I see, for example, one of the companies who did not make it this year, they had in a span of 12 months a change of 3 presidents. So you cannot drive engagement by having continuous changes in leadership. So yeah, definitely people are our assets, and it cascades down. You guys being here, showing the example is already a message to the team, and it cascades down, makes employees more motivated versus just saying, okay, we would like to vote for the Blue Cup, go vote, but I'm not interested, So well done. Thank you for being here. So what does it take in absolute terms? What does it take to be a winner in our industry, of course?
I may start. But somehow it will come back to things we already said. At the end of the day, it's all about convincing people, embarking people, and get the trust of your stakeholders. It means first listening to your customers, understanding their challenges, and their challenges are changing because, and in particular in our field, the environmental challenges that our clients face and will face tomorrow are not the one they faced in the past. So that's where we need to listen to them with humility. But I think as experts and as leaders, we need also to give ourselves the possibility to influence them, to push them so that they prepare themselves better for the challenges they face tomorrow. So it's that, and it's also in continuing to challenge yourself, continue to innovate, to adapt without complacency.
Yeah. Thank you, Vincent.
Yeah, I like a lot the one adjective I use for myself, positive inconformist. Where you are today, and many times I listen to my colleagues. Okay, good point. Next, and I think this is the thing. As well, reinvesting as well. I think this is as well a sign of many of the companies here. We are reinvesting as well. Most of or some part of our of the benefits of the company is reinvesting in the future of the company, either by R&D centers or by whatever. But you can see all these activities, I think, in the DNA of the different companies, of the guys that we are here. We at Kurita, we are opened this year 2 R&D centers, one in Japan, one in Europe, and you can see the pace. And I'm sure if you look across to the other companies that you are here, you can see as well this continuous reinvestment on yourself, on the growth, no, on the sustainability, no, as well, similar to what Alejandro was saying before as well on this, challenging yourself to be united. But you see this reinvestment tendency of all of us.
Thank you, Pere. Okay, so my last question. You each have, not you, Bob, the rest of the team, you each have 30 seconds to pitch why people should be voting for you for the Blue Cup Award. We still have 2 days left, and by the way, people can change votes. So if, let's say, they voted for company A now, they can go and update their votes. So you have 30 seconds each to pitch why we should be voting for you, so you are the winner. So who wants to go first? Nobody wants to pitch.
Why not? I'll do
Go
it.
ahead, Rich.
Well, so a company based in the United States, present all around the world. We've been in, I think it's in our name, tech, and we're all about, we're one of very few companies in the world that has the wide range solutions from biological wastewater to reuse to desalination. We've done over 3,000 installations in 60 countries, and I think we're known as a specialist to solve the most difficult wastewater, highest recovery, lowest energy, world, great R&D capability. Our subsidiary Qua maintains MBRs, EDI stacks. So very in solving technological problems, and we have the tool set to solve any.
Thank you, Divesh.
Was that 30 seconds?
Perfect. Thank you.
I can
But I didn't
go
want
ahead.
to.
Go ahead, Ratna.
I think the attendees and should vote for Veolia for 4 reasons. The first one is that it's the World Cup 2022. We've done a fantastic year 2022. You mentioned that it was a special year for us with a risk of of a lot of disturbance. We remain focused on our strategy under our engaging, embarking purpose, and fueled by a fantastic community of employees, a fantastic community of resources. We convinced a lot of clients on the importance of what we were addressing and the way we were addressing. That's the first reason. The second reason is that in 2022, we've showed our capacity to adapt. I'll take only one example. Europe this summer faced unprecedented water scarcity, and we were there pretty often in emergency situation to help supporting our clients to get water or to continue their business. The third reason is that we continued in 2022 to improve our leadership position. I'll take one example, the lithium. We had numerous successes in lithium recovery in 2022, and more will come in 2023. And finally, I cannot resist to mention the success of our digital services. Walid, I'm passionate about that. We had tremendous success, tremendous growth in digital services in 2022. We've convinced clients that it was a way to get access to our expertise, but also to save energy. And this is extremely critical in Europe today, to save chemicals, so to improve the performance of the plant, but also to improve the environmental footprint of the infrastructure of our clients. So that was the fourth reason.
Thank you, Vincent. We still have Fere and Alejandro. Who wants to go first?
Okay, Alejandro. Then I go this time. I go first.
Okay, you, please.
This time me. No, basically, on Kurita, why Kurita? two reasons. One is following what Vincent said. This year has been tough for Europe, especially on energy, on the challenging, on the climate. And I come back to what we were talking before on providing genuine value to our customers in terms of energy savings, on water savings, and having, let's say, state-of-the-art technologies with innovation. No, this is, let's say, I did not want them more in the technology, but secondly, and even I'm the technical guy, I will go for a picture. And it is a picture that our marketing guys were doing, launching a branding campaign. And now you need to imagine a lake, a forest, and it was more or less a 50-year guy working at Curita in our company, sitting near the lake with his son. You know? And there was a comment there, a phrase, water is the past, present, and future. And I think this is something shared with all of us, no? But at the end, I asked it to the marketing guy, what do you mean with that? So the story behind that is this guy working at Curita is explaining to his son that thanks to the state-of-the-art technologies, he was able to genuinely impact the industry by energy savings, by water savings, and all that helped to make a better world, no? To become society-centric. And at that moment, I felt really emotional. And I'm putting this in every one of the I'm doing internally at my team. Really, I was saying before, but if I wake up in the morning, this is the reason why I'm able to impact to the world through my daily job. No, I made the count with my colleagues of Curita Europe how much we saved on resources. In 5 years, I was able to track this last 5. And it was like down to 64,000 tons of CO2 we saved, and the fuel for a car to give 31,000 round trips to the world. So that made me power it. So the listeners, if you feel engaged on that, please vote for Curita.
Thank you, very. Alejandro, last but not least.
Okay, I could talk about our environmental strategy. I think it's unique, but Veolia said for a reason, I high five. Sorry. For that reason, I want to get advantage of I am the last. The first reason, it is very, very important to have our people happy because it's the most important. It's the passion, it's the motor of the company. The first reason, hey, I'm sharing this with you guys. And remember, we are competitors. Our first reason is the people. The people, the people, the people, and the people. For that reason, if we will win this Blue Cap Award, we will very, very happy. I remember that Sunday when we won the award last year, we were very, very happy all together in the same, through WhatsApp in different places around the world. And I think not only in our work, in our family as well, if we are happy, man, we are receiving a salary to be happy. I think is the most important thing in our life.
That's a good point. And also,
So
you don't have 6. You don't have 6. I know you, Devesh.
No. I'm not going to say any points. I'm just going to end with audience. Forget about everything we said. Forget about everything we said. Just and say, if I have a water challenge, who do I want to call, and vote for that.
Oh, sorry, could you repeat? Because I don't know if...
No, I repeat it. So Devesh is saying that for the audience, think if you have a water challenge, who would you call to help you sort it out, and then vote based on your thinking. Correct? Yeah. So
that's exactly what I said. Yes.
Yeah, I think in the last 1 hour we've seen some changes in the votes. So I think Vincent, you're doing a good job. I'm going to share the screen now. So it really went up to 30%.
I can stay with you for the next 48 hours if you want, Walid.
and it's interesting because really, like last year, H2 Innovation just came on board and they made it to the final and they won. So I know H2O Innovation can always come back. Aquatech, first year they join us, and also they straight to the finals, and they can win. Kurita is the third year where every year they make progress, and this year also they are really pushing to get it to get the cup. And of course Veolia. Veolia was number 1 in 2020, so I wouldn't be surprised if you guys win again. But I think for you, Alejandro, also if you win, you will have had 2 World Cups in the span of a week time, you know. So because he's from Argentina and they just won, so so thank you all for joining us today and for being passionate about this event. I know it's fun. It's not a statistically, you know, like, but at the end of the day, it brings passion and it brings all the LinkedIn water people on board, and it's keep getting better and better every year. Thank you all for joining, and
Thank
good luck
you,
for the
Wally,
rest.
for putting
Thank
this
you all.
on for us. Thank you, Wally.
Bye.
Thank
Thank you, all of
you.
you guys.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Good luck.